Hi, good evening, everybody. So, we are here again today, and today I'll be speaking on life choices. So, I hope it gives you a good insight into what I'm going to talk about. And we'll just wait for 2 minutes for others to join in. So, today we're going to talk about the effect of perception on life choices. And we will also see and understand as to what is perception and why is it so important in our life choices. So that is the main issue as to why we find this to be important. So just we'll wait for a minute or two. Simply put, perception is like what you see is not necessarily what I see. So there are going to be variations. There have to be differences. And secondly, the experiences that we all have in our lives are totally different from each other. For example, what you had as your experience of, let's say, going to school as a child would be very different from my experience of going to school as a child. For you, it may be fun, but for me, it was like a terrible thing to do. I don't want to go to school, right? So I welcome you all, Shivi, Sunny. So I think let's proceed. People can join us. Now, the question is, what is perception? First of all, we need to understand. I have already taken my lecture on perception, but yeah, but I could tell you that perception is like we use our senses to understand the environment and make meaning out of it. So it is basically sense of touch, smell, sound, vision, taste, and body awareness. So body awareness is little kinesthetic. So like, when you feel that you find something pleasing to your eyes, you relate to it. You feel, oh my God, yes, this scenery looks so beautiful. When you go on vacations, let's say on a mountainside or in some mountain country, and you see the sunrise. Why do people photograph these sunrises and these mountain peaks and all these things? Because their sensory perception is telling them that this is a good place. They're making a choice. They have experience of so many places. They may have been on the beach. They may have been in a desert. They may have been in the sea. They may have been in a beautiful house, villa, but they like this mountainside. So that is perception. But for me, if I go to mountain, and that's true because I'll tell you my story. My soldiering I've done in treacherous mountains of Manipur, and Nagaland and Jammu and Kashmir. So I hate mountains. I don't want to join mountains, right? So we actually, with our sensory perceptions, our five senses, we are making sense of the environment or the world around us. Simply put, that is what it is. Now, there is a perceptual process. You know, these are influenced by external and internal and external factors. So you have an object like the countryside, mountains. You become aware, oh, this is something different than my usual thing, not the usual scenery I see when I go to work or when I'm at home or I'm somewhere else. Then you recognize it, you relate it to something which you have seen, and then you get a meaning out of it. Oh, this is mountainside with sunrises on, and that's why it's looking beautiful. The rays are falling on the peaks of the mountain. Okay. And then you give a response. And the response can be simply put as like you putting up a picture on your Facebook page, or you putting up your picture on Instagram. That is your response. So these are the stages. You see something, that's the object, you become aware of that object, you recognize it, you interpret it, and you respond to it. And this whole process is taking place due to your sensory inputs. You're not doing anything. Everything is happening on autopilot. Right. So the process of perception is always on. You see new things, you always catch on, you aware, recognize, interpret, respond. We make more than 1,000 decisions a day based on our perception. And you will believe, when you see something unusual, कोई नई चीज दिखती है ना, तो suddenly you're drawn to it. कोई चमकीली चीज, कलरफुल चीज, या कोई ब्यूटीफुल फ्लावर हो, या कुछ अनयूजुअल चीज हो, तो आप उसकी तरफ मुड़ के देखते हो. That sensory perception is making you aware कि look that side, there is something interesting. Now let's see what is the impact of perception on life choices. Now life choices हम क्यों करते हैं? Life choices is like how we evaluate the information. Your brain is constantly taking information inside you. कुछ ना कुछ, he is always, what he has done is, जो basic functions हैं, blood pressure, your body temperature, your sugar levels, everything is being done. It has been automated so that brain has time to function on more complex functions, that is like functions of life choices based upon perception. How do we weigh options? How do we evaluate information? How do we make decisions? This is all about life choices. And what we perceive, जो हम सोचते हैं या जो हम समझते हैं सही है, उसी basis पे हम choice बनाते हैं. We make choices on that same basis. Right? So it's all about your previous experiences of the environment, which are correlated, combined, and then give a decision or choices made. So there is one physical world and there is one mental world. And when these two, where they integrate, ये जो overlapping I've shown it, that is your perception. So you have a mental perception, you have a physical world perception, which the brain combines, makes a cocktail, and produces something which makes meaning to you about that thing, what you have seen. It may be object, it may be a place, it may be a location, it may be an activity or an action, or it may be a pleasurable experience. That becomes your perception. So every time you meet that kind of a situation, that location, that activity, that action, the same perception is reinforced in your brain. And you act accordingly by making a choice. And eventually, in 99.9% cases, it is a life choice. I want to become an actor. I want to become an engineer. Some events have been related where all these activities are linked, and then you decide and make a choice to do something based upon those experiences and your perceptions. Okay. Life choices. Now, this is where we come, which is very important. We all are making life choices. So, what are life choices? Life choices are anything that relate to your personal life. So, what relates to your personal life? Your career, your marriage. I'm not going in a particular sequence. Your job, your education, your children, your relationships, buying and selling. It can be wealth, it can be property, it can be anything which is good for you. Moving, all these things are life choices. Oh, I want to go to US and study in the university, MIT. Why? There are so many universities in the world. Why have you chosen that? You have made a choice. You have made a choice based on some experience or some perception, which is the perception of your understanding that, look, if I go to MIT in USA, I am better placed than somebody else. Simple. Okay, so we all are making life choices, and life is about choices, remember, because without choices, you can't survive. So it's choices, challenges, and chances. So if you make a good choice, you have all the chances of winning any situation or anything that you want to do. So keep this in mind. So the big six of life, that is the life choices, is health, family, spirituality, finances, career and growth, and contribution. So I'll just explain to you how this starts. Health is the first and foremost. You need food to eat, you need water and air to survive. Your health depends on what you eat, your diet, and how you live, your living. So health is very important. Now, health has got two aspects. There is physical health and there is mental health. Physical health relates to your physical strength, your physical well-being, and mental health relates to your mental well-being. How healthy are you? How is your thought process? Are you positive? Are you optimistic? Do you have enough intelligence and knowledge to take on the challenges in life? So that relates to the most important issue in our life, that is health. Second comes is family. Now, why family is important is because man is a social being. We cannot survive in isolation. So family also has two facets. One is your close family, your wife, your parents, your children, your brothers, sisters, siblings. And the second is family also involves close friends and acquaintances. So all these people help in shaping your perception about life because they share their experiences with you. You learn something new. Oh, ऐसा भी होता है. So second big six is relationships and the company you keep. Coming on to spirituality. Now, this is a very important dimension which is very often neglected by the society as a whole. They feel that, if you have a spiritual bent of mind, you have to become a guru or you have to become a yogi or you have to leave your materialistic living and go and up in the Himalayas and meditate. Sorry, it is not so. It can be very much it can very much be part of your materialistic life. इसमें क्या होता है? Prayers and bhakti. That is you go to a temple or you have some sacred book to which you pray every day and it gives you mental strength and solace. And the second is the meditative practices. The meditative practices are first is meditation, deep breathing, yoga. So these are what they align your frequencies to the superconscious. So there are various levels in our brains. We always operate at theta. Theta. The theta level is the most fast and disrupting level. Delta is what the yogis and all, once they achieve some control over their mind, they operate from there, which is like, is the layer of creativity and consciousness. So everybody is working. So this is also spirituality is very important. Next is finances. There's a saying, you don't need money to be happy. But then I also say, without money, you cannot be happy. It is a very important source of survival for you. If you don't have money, if you don't have wealth, you cannot you you cannot sit still and be happy. You'll always be stressed, worried, scared. You'll be fearful. So choices on finances also are very, very important. Then comes career and growth. This is basically related to our ego. The perception, we all have this common perception is that if we reach the highest level in an organization, we are successful and people are recognizing us. This is a common perception. Everybody wants to become the CEO, everybody wants to become a director, everyone wants to become a general manager or the topmost person. So, this is another priority because this is also related to our ego. Oh, what will people say if I just remain at a manager level that he's not succeeded. He could not become a senior manager. So sorry. In career growth, it is about success and recognition. How successful am I? How famous and recognized am I? So that is where this career and growth factor comes in your life choices. And the last but not the least is the contribution to the society, to the environment. Now, contribution is first you contribute towards your family, near and dear ones. You make some property for them. You leave some wealth for them. You leave some money for them. You are the pillar of strength for them. Any problem, any question, any issues, they come to you and ask you questions and decide. They on based on your information, they take a choice. The second aspect is contributing towards society. You see, people who make good choices become successful. And eventually, successful people are the people who contribute to the better wellness and betterness of the society, betterment of the society. The simplest example is down in our own countries, the Tatas. If you read history about Tatas, you'll realize that their contribution to the Indian society, Indian diaspora, is noteworthy, commendable. So this was also a life choice for them. Big people like Tata. Okay, no, we have to develop the society where we live in. So how do choices happen? Like choices are based upon your physical attributes. Number one, you're physically fit, we are physically strong, you are a opportunist, you are courageous, you will take up, you'll make life choices about your profession or about your living, which are more adventurous and which are more, I won't say too dangerous, but is dangerous and different. Then choices come from personal interests. What are your interests in life? I like to paint. I'm a creative person. I like to do pottery. I like music. So more of I have a creative bent of mind than a technical bent of mind where somebody is interested in mechanics, somebody is interested in space, somebody is interested in artificial intelligence. So your interests, personal interests also define your choices. Your physical attributes, your personal interests, and then what happens is third is about your emotions and feelings. How you react to the environment. Some people see the environment, that is life, Mother Nature, Earth, as a very inspiring and a very different phenomena. My God, how does a flower bloom? How does a seed become such a big banyan tree? They are in awe of the miracles that happen in nature. But there are some who take life for granted. Oh, pata nahi, hota hoga, I'm not interested. I'm presently interested in this. I have to go to the office and give my presentation. Then your emotions are what they rule you and they help you make your choices. Your feelings make you. So that's why we say to our friends, emotional mat hona feeling. Emotional होके मत लेना decision. Practical होके लेना. Feelings होती हैं. We make choices. Simple. We fall in love with a girl. It's a choice. But after marriage, we realize we made a wrong choice. So the relationship breaks. So why was that decision taken in the first place? Why was that choice made? That choice was an emotional experience or based on feelings. It had no reality. It had only perception. So these are the complex things which we overlook. And we don't pay attention to these finer points. So it's like you see something and you perceive it to be X. I see the same thing, but I don't perceive it to be X. I perceive it to be something else. So that is why when you make life choices, take an overall 360-degree view of that choice which you're going to make. The best way to do that is to take a feedback from people, gain information about that choice which you're going to make. So there are some ethics in life which I thought I will share with you that will help you make good life choices. First is befriending. Befriend your environment. Befriend your society. Befriend means getting to know them well, deeper, in my perspective and in their perspective. The second step to making a choice is keep learning. If you keep learning, you will find new avenues opening to it and you will be able to connect the dots of your life. You will get the bigger picture in your life. When you learn, you upscale, you start growing. And when growth happens, change comes in. Change for the good, change for the better, and change in your overall well-being. Moment there is a change, you are out of your comfort zone. Now you're doing activities which you usually don't do. So you come into the phase of challenge. Life just throws challenges because with the growth and change, the situations are changing very fast now, and life is throwing challenges at you. And when I say challenges, these are life problems, life important decisions in life. So you start facing the challenges, you overcome the challenges, you win, and then you go up where you have recognition and fame, and you start serving the society. So these are the 6 tiers of life ethics. If you understand them now, you will be able to categorize your state in any one of these tiers after this webinar. And that is what is important. Okay. Any question and answers? We are at the top of the hour. You can reach out to us at the link given here. And I have special programs catered for you where you can book a call, a strategic call for 30 minutes, and we can work together in the areas you feel you need any help. If there are any questions, please put it in the chat box. Okay. So there are no questions. I would just request you to please make a list of your choices in the category most important or very important, important, and not so important. And these choices should be for your life in the next 5 years. So do this small exercise. And then when we meet next, come back to me. And if you have any issues, you can book a call and we'll have a strategic call and discuss this. It is a very interesting exercise. Very important, important, not so important. Choices. And have a good Sunday. Thank you for being here and taking out time to be with me. Bye bye. Thank you.